Todd, you want to go ahead and introduce our guest tonight?
All right. This is a special honor for me because here's a story that I'm going to tell something very short, and then I'm going to let Sean come up because he's the guy that you're going to want to hear. But you know, you're going to spend some time in your life, whether you grew up with people or whether these are the people that you've got right now. You're going to find some special people, and you're going to make some special connections. And special people bond with other special people all the time for whatever reason, you know. And so when you find someone that you know kind of lifts you up and makes you feel good, and you know and accomplish things in life and feeding other people, you want to gravitate to just hang on to that guy, right? And so there's people in my life throughout the 49 years that I've come across those type of people, and Sean Quinlan is one of those guys. The guy that everyone in my neighborhood, he's in my neighborhood, we grew up together, everybody respected Sean. And here's a great thing that Sean, I don't know what he's going to talk about exactly, but if we had a basketball game, and there was 15 guys in my neighborhood. We'd all call each other, bring them together, and if there was 6 of us, Sean would say, Todd and I got the rest of the ball. We'll take all of them. And my entire life, it was always, you know, hey, Todd and I will take you all of them. And for the rest of my life, I've always remembered that. I've always remembered, man, I'm ready to take on anybody. You know what? Because this guy right here kind of fed that into me. So Sean Quinlan has an amazing story. He was a guy that was on ESPN a couple weeks ago. That doesn't make it an amazing story, but people around the country have found out how special he is. He's a football coach here in Des Moines, but he was a Marine before that. And he's speaking in the lives of kids, speaking in the lives of people, and making a difference. And so he's got a great story that I'm just so pleased that I get to ask him to come and share with us. So I appreciate your attention. I appreciate you guys taking the time to greet him and welcome him, and I look forward to his time with us. Appreciate it.
Bill Russell. Bill Russell's probably one of the greatest big men that ever played the game. Now you have to know Bill Russell. You guys are too young for that. But guys that grew up in my era, we knew who Bill Russell, right, Coach Tank? Bill Russell, okay? He's walking through an airport, and a young man walks up to him like a lot of young men walk up to you-ish and say, hey, you know, can I have your autograph? But the guy says, aren't you Bill Russell? The guy won 11 NBA championships. He says, no, that's what I do. That's not who I am. He says, to know who you are, you got to know whose you are. Why everybody in this room tonight's got an advantage? Because you know whose you are. See, we all play for the head coach. It's not Coach Drew. I love Coach Drew because I read his story. In his story, when he talks about, if I lose the rest of every game, I'm a losing coach. But if my players don't have Christ on their heart, then I lost. Well, when Bill Russell told that story, every one of you all got a story. You see, I did my research. That's what Marines do, right? Before we go into battle, we got to do a little bit what we call IPB. And that's intelligence preparation for the battlefield. Because when I was in country, guess what? They wanted to hurt me. And that's okay. Okay? Because that's what I arrived here up for. I took the shilling, as the Brits said. Every one of your stories are worth telling tonight. Every one of your stories are worth listening to. Some of your stories started in Nairobi, Kenya. Some of your stories started in the South Sudan. Some of them were from Kansas. Some from Kansas City, right? You're in Kansas City. Some from Scottsville, Michigan. Larry Hunt. Don Dwayne. Okay? Everybody's story, everybody has a story. But the unfortunate thing here tonight, Tim, is every one of us got a broken story. Somewhere in everybody's life, whether you want to admit it or not, you got a broken story. Every one of us got a broken story. But the good news story is this. The only way you can fix a broken story is to embed it in the greatest story ever written. And that's the Bible. See, I'm trying to get to the Hall of Fame. And that's God's Hall of Fame. But it took me a long time to figure out how to get to the Hall of Fame. And I still don't know if I got a shot, Coach. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at, okay? I got the playbook, and that's the Bible. Okay? That tells me everything I need to know. I want you guys to imagine you guys pull up in a bus today. Imagine 7 of those buses in Campbell, North Carolina. In 2007, I got 250 Marines were getting ready to go over into Iraq. My Marines are black, they're white, they're Asian, they're Hispanic, I don't care. We got one mission, we got one team, we got one fight. My first sergeant is Charlie Stanford. He's from St. Augustine, Florida. He says, sir, we got all 250 people on the buses. We're ready to go. We'll go to Cherry Point, North Carolina. We'll fly in from Cherry Point, North Carolina. We'll fly into Landstuhl, Germany, in Germany, into Kuwait City, then right into the space. And then it's game time. It's game time for us. He says, sir, we're waiting on Sergeant Baker. So I see Sergeant Baker over there. Sergeant Baker's getting out of the car. And there's a lot of anxiety. Can you imagine the families? 700 family members there. Tears are running down their face. Uncertainty. Our men don't know. The wives don't know. The mothers don't know. And I walk over to Sergeant Baker. I see his mom and dad in his old beat-up truck. I don't know what kind it was. Probably like that red truck I had. Todd, where you at? Probably the red truck I had. Had the rope pulled the ends together and water coming through underneath the floorboards. You know the trucks I'm talking about. Tim, you know about those. Walk over there. Mr. Baker gets out of his truck, Tim. I said, sir, I want to thank you, sir. Yes, if you don't mind. I want to thank you for your son. He said, let me tell you something. My wife and I drove all night long from Appalachia. If you know anything about Appalachia, Kentucky, there's not a lot there. He slept in a rest area that night because we can't afford a hotel. He looked at me, Tim, he says this, I love my son. He says, but you do right by my son. You bring my son home, he's all I got. So that would be like Peyton. You walking up to me with Peyton and saying, you bring Peyton home. You bring Brody home. Where you at, Coach Tang? Where's Coach Tang at? There he is. And your boy, right? Be like you walking up to me asking me, hey, you bring my son home, he's all I got. That's a tall order for a young man like me. I'm from a one-horse town, one stoplight and 6 bars in my hometown. I grew up with not a lot. I had 6 brothers and sisters, had a good attitude in case of hustle, and some want-to water. We had that want-to water. You get that want-to water, you're good to go. Sergeant Baker gets on the bus. Eddie Garvin, he's from Boston. So you Northeastern guys understand. Eddie got married. Living in the projects, promises his wife, I'll get you out of the projects. He joins the Marines. 19 years old, says, hey, I'm going to be a U.S. Marine. Ben Rosales, a young boy from Houston, Texas, right up the road from Waco. He would send his whole paycheck home to his mother. He had 3 brothers. Say, hey, Mom, I got to keep money for a haircut and some hygiene gear, but I'll give you all the whole check. So he would send his check home every night, or every 2 weeks we got paid in the Marine Corps. He made 11 grand a year, so he's making some big money, Don Boy. 11 grand a year, right? He wrote the blank check to America for 4 years. My life is necessary. Are you kidding me? Where do we find such men? And then there's Mark Jelena. You're not supposed to have a favorite, Coach, but I had a favorite. He was a lieutenant that got it. He understood. It wasn't about him. Because he understood the measure of a man is what you do with what you have. And that's a test I have for everybody in this room here. Every one of us are tested every single day. Okay, we're tested every single day. And then there was Chad Allen, La Crosse, Wisconsin. Single parent mother. So these 4 individuals I just told you a story about are my broken story. I told you about a broken story. And I think it's important that I humble myself in front of you. I don't know why I told the story, Ish. I don't know why, but tonight I thought it'd come out. This hasn't come out ever. I think I've told the story one other time in private. But it needed to be told today. I wanted to share one of my own. Every one of us has a story that's been broken. Your story's been broken at one time. Someone's let us down. But like I said before, the greatest way to fix a broken story is embedded the greatest story ever written, and that's the Bible. Okay, that's the head coach's playbook.
I
that our dreams and goals are tied to wealth, attainment of material things, easy, life is easy. Well, the three that I'm getting ready to talk about knew that they were joining an organization that did not offer those nice, easy things day in and day out, but they joined anyways. If I had the headlines for a day, what would the headlines be? What would the headlines be across America? What would be? Who is Chad Allen? Who is Mark Delina? Who is Eddie Garvin? And who is Benjamin Rosales? And why should America know? That's what I would want for headlines for the day. But who are these four individuals? The kid didn't know anything but being number one. The kid was a corporal within 2 years. Went to turret school, was honor man, went to NCO school when the colonel gave up his highly coveted coin to the young man. But what I loved about him the most, his most redeeming quality was he was very humble and very self-effacing, and he loved his family. There's a saying that we have, some of us use in the battalion, is that Mark got it. Mark knew that it wasn't about Mark Delina. He knew that the rank on his shoulder, it wasn't about him. That rank was a Marine's rank. That's what I can do for the Marines, is what Mark Delina said. The measure of a man is what you do with what you have. We said before we left, and this is battalion-wide, there's people that live off tradition, people that live off history, or are you going to go out there and make tradition and make history? Your husbands, your brothers, your sons made a difference.
They rose to a higher calling. They chose to live for something larger than themselves.
But one thing they had in common was they wanted to do something that was bigger than themselves, and they did that.
My heart belongs to you, and if without you, I sing that song. My heart is with you. Thank you. Thank you for being part of my song. Thank you, anywhere where you are. I love you, and I'm proud of you.
And I know I will never be a better man than I was. That 7 months I spent with those men in front of me, as well as the 3 that we lost.
So I'm on the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia. It's October 4th. As a good leader, you're the first vehicle to go through, and you lead into the fight. And I was the first vehicle coach. We went through. I sent the Army clearance team in, they cleared. Said you're good to go. Brought the next vehicles through. Get a call, request permission to come through. And took a 15-ton vehicle and threw it 15 meters. 15 tons, 15 meters. And the way they do it is, they don't call over the radio and say, hey, Rosales is dead, Delina's dead. You have a roster that says a number. And a KIA 147, KIA 167. Doesn't matter who it is, but that's how it is. And I'm on the Euphrates River, and I'm thinking to myself, you heard that lady there? That was Ben Rosales' mom right there. She grabbed the microphone in the middle of the ceremony. There was 1,000 Marines there. And that was her speaking to everybody's heart and hear. And we got 3 dead, I got 10 wounded, and I got birds inbound. And I got 200 Marines. I got 100 Iraqi soldiers, 50 Iraqi policemen,
And they're all going to need it. There's no turn to page 47 when you got 3 dead Marines, 8 wounded. It's about standing up. And so they're looking at me. What now, Tim? What now? So I do what? Obviously took my strength from the Lord and said, hey, there comes a time in your life when you got to stand up for who you are and what you represent. That time is now. And I had to ask myself, what would those men want us to do? Because the colonel says you can go back. You can go back to town. I still had to clear another 60 miles to the Syrian-Jordanian border. Or I go back. And I'm just like Baylor basketball. I'm not in the giving up business. You heard me say in there, there's 2 types of people. Those that live off tradition, those that make tradition. I'm in the making tradition business. You guys are in the making history business. And so we decided to finish. We decided to finish, and we were going to finish the drill. Because that's just what we do. Here's the deal. Men don't finish well. Why I say that is, I'm guilty myself. I fall short, but we need to finish. And so we finished over there. But I want you to take 2 principles from me. I told you I'd keep this short. I told you I wasn't going to be as eloquent as most of the speakers you get. Okay? I'm not going to be as articulate as most of the speakers you get. Keep this short. There's two principles that if you accept and you learn. First one's love. And you're saying, hey, big bad Marine, Mr. Nunley, I'm talking about love. You're right. There's 3 types of love. Erotica, that's for a woman. Agape, for the Lord. And Philios, and that's what I want to talk to you about, Philios love. Because when we fought, it was about the guy on the right and left. That's what it was about. It ain't about my mom, dad, and apple pie. It's not about the American flag. I'm just going to be honest. You tell me another guy that's seen what I've seen. It's about the guy on the right and left. That's a beautiful thing. Why I'm here tonight is, you say, well, Todd invited me. The reason I'm here tonight is anytime I can review what I know about leadership, about Christ, on the hearts of young men that already got Christ in their heart, I jumped at the opportunity. But you got to understand that love conquers all. But what the second principle that very few people can master, and that's resilience. Every one of us has went through adversity. Your university's going through adversity now. I am sick and tired of picking up the paper in Des Moines and watching the TV and watch this university get maligned and character assassinated. When I looked at your roster and I looked at the dossiers and resumes of every player, these are quality young men that I would want to call son. You got guys at the honor roll. You got guys that are out working in the community. We got Christian men and they're getting character assassinated by a bunch of reporters because very few people will go down into the arena. Everybody's a critic. Everybody told me this is what we should do in Iraq. You know what I tell them, Coach Drew? Your son first. You know, they drop up, they pick up their pencil. And none of that people have been punched in the face. I'm just telling you that right now. We got a society. I know when I walked in here tonight, there's 2 types of people. There's the meat eaters and leaf eaters. Okay? I'm in the meat eating business. Okay? Marines are in the meat eating business. You guys first said, who is this guy? And so what? Because guess what? I'm an alpha male too. I know that. I think there might be a little bit more respect now. I have to earn your respect. I got to earn your respect. But resilience is one of those things, over time, you build up resilience. Okay, and usually adversity is what builds up resilience. Resilience is one of those things that can, if you use it right, correctly, Coach, you can turn it into power. I watch you guys, because I live my life vicariously through a very humble individual, Todd, my brother, Larry, Don. I live my life through you guys, so I follow you guys. And I listen to people talk, and I don't sit there and go, hey, you know what, though? I said, do you know what's in? You know what's on the heart? Okay? So at the end of the day, I'm a voracious reader. I like to read. I got a lot of pictures because I'm a Marine. I know it's an oxymoron. Reading and Marine, it's an oxymoron, you know. But I do read a lot, okay? And one of the things, you'll like this one. You know what the Spartans used to say in battle? They say, hey, sir, there's 10,000 Persians. You know what the command used to say is? I don't care how many there is, just show me where they're at. Just tell me where they're at. I don't care how many there are. Tomorrow, I don't care if it's full of 15,000. I don't care. But I'll tell you one thing I know. When we were in combat, we came on deck. The unit before me had lost 7, had 25 wounded in 1 week. I got there, they wanted no part of this city. I asked them, why don't you guys go down these routes? They go, that's where we get attacked. Guess where you think I started my first patrols? Right there. I'm going to be that, okay? However, why am I drawing this parallel is, when we got on deck, we could intercept all the cell phone calls from the insurgents. When we got on deck, Marines got on deck, and I'm not taking anything from any other service. My grandfather did 4 years in the Army. We got on deck. They were like, we're here. Because it was just our presence. So tomorrow, when you guys walk up there, and you get off the bus and walk through there, I want them to go, and I know they will. They're here. They're here. And I don't care what the fans say, whatever. I want you to go up there. Okay, now I'm going to get off I'm going to talk about, I want you to go up there and stop a mud hole in their ass. Bottom line. Go up there, play like you know, you're already ready to go. You're already ready to go. But at the end of the day, you are never judged by wins and losses. I just got done coaching, watched the ESPN special. Largest Title I school in the Midwest out of 6 schools. Poorest school, 100% free lunches. Everybody gets a free lunch, free breakfast. 34 different countries in my hallways. 30 different languages spoken in my hallways. A reporter came up to me, ESPN guy says, "Well, you guys were 0-9 your first year." So we won 10 games in 50 years. This is my first year coaching. I said, I got a young man from Tanzania who watched his mom and sister die in a refugee camp. He's on a full ride scholarship at Iowa State. Isn't that worth like 10 victories? I took the team, there were 26 ineligible kids. I got the job in June. A month later, we're playing a football game against 4A powerhouses. I had 26 ineligible. Next year I had 3, this year we had 9. I got 25 seniors getting ready to graduate. It's what they become 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now is where you're going to get to see whether I did anything. And nobody wants to hear that. They know. They want to say, okay, that's some nice rhetoric, that's some nice motivational stuff. But at the end of the day, it's about what's in here. And this is the time, right now, you all got to finish. You know the deal. It's been a long season. You got 3 more games after this. You got the Big 12 championships down in Kansas City. And then it's showtime. I don't have to tell you. This is no Vince Lombardi, get motivated type thing. The bottom line is, take care of business. And right there, it's finish the drill. Finish the drill. You all got a story. This is just a story here. Life is full of short stories. You get to write your own book. We got too many people letting other people write their books and saying, hey, this is how the Baylor season's going to end. Hey, this is what Baylor men do. You don't know what Baylor men do because you don't know them. The one thing about it is they never say it to your face. That's just one thing. That's the problem I got in America today. Nobody will say it to your face. Nobody will tweet it out and do all this other stuff. But I tell you right now, I respect each and every one of you. I read every one of your bios. I read about your families. I read about where you came from. Never forget where you come from. Take care of each other. And never forget that regardless of the valleys that you guys are going to go through, you're going to go through. But if you keep humility at the forefront, always keep humility. Humility is the foundation of excellence. It really is. You know why we admire guys that are humble? Because humility is hard. It takes strength, it takes willpower, it takes stamina. I call it excellence without arrogance. I don't got an identity crisis. I know who I am. I'm not worried about it. We got too many people that have an identity crisis, okay? The bottom line is, if you're humble, excellence without arrogance is my thing. Is you guys walk in there, hey, we've done this before, and they're going to be a bunch of tight ones, because you walk in there, oh shit, they're here. Okay, that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And the other thing is every morning when you wake up, it's some bad news, the devil's alive and well. The devil's got about an IQ of 20,000. He wants a piece of you. The devil wants to get in you, and he wants to make you do bad things. 24/7, the devil's after you. Bottom line. Because you can't have good without evil, right? You got to understand that's out there. It's going to get after you. You all have got to look after each other. You all have got to take care of one another. It's hard taking the high road. It's hard taking the high road. You got to take the road that's less traveled. I tell you, when you get to the top of the mountain, there's not a lot of people up there, is there? The view's a hell of a lot better. The air's a lot thinner. And so I appreciate this opportunity, Tim, Todd. I appreciate it, Coach. You got better things to do than listen to this old guy here. But I appreciate it. And it's just, if I had said 20-some years ago I'd be here addressing a group of professionals, young men like you, I would have never guessed it. So I'm humbled, I'm honored, and privileged, and I appreciate it. Let's go out and finish, and I look forward to coming to see you play tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Anyone got any questions?
Yeah, go ahead, fire them away. Fire away. Tim, you got a question? Hey, go ahead, fire away. Anybody got a question? I don't sugarcoat anything, so you can ask me anything. Is it hard to lead a large group of men? Is that your question?
You said that
250, but the hardest thing was I had Iraqi soldiers and Iraqi policemen. They were Sunnis and Shiites, and they don't like each other, but we were working together. So you had Marines and these other groups, and everything we did, we had to work together. So it was very unsettling for me as a commander in battle to have these two groups, cultures that didn't like each other. And then you had interpreters, and I'm trying to do everything through an interpreter. And then unfortunately, we had bad people within the group that wanted to see us fail. One of the most unsettling things after we lost those Marines, just 10 kilometers up, we uncovered the largest cast